You're a tardigrade, one of the toughest creatures on the planet. You can survive being shot into space, frozen for decades, and blasted with radiation that would liquefy a human. But right now, you're half a millimeter long, trapped on moss, and your entire world is evaporating. You move slowly across the moss surface, each step taking you deeper into the maze of green fibers. You're searching for algae, bacteria, anything small enough to fit inside your mouth tube. Your body is translucent, and through your skin, you can see everything inside you moving. There's no stomach, just a tube running straight through. You find a clump of algae growing between two moss leaves. You extend your mouth tube, piercing the cell wall, and suck the contents dry. It's not much, but it's enough. Then the light changes. The shadow above you shifts, and suddenly the water film starts pulling away. The moss is drying out. You try to move toward the thicker water, but your legs are too slow. The film thins around you, then breaks completely. You're exposed to air. Your body starts shrinking immediately, pulling inward as the water leaves your cells. You try to crawl, but your legs stop working. Within seconds, you're immobile, curled into a ball the size of a dust particle. Your body loses 99% of its water. Technically, you just died. But you're still here, locked in a state called cryptobiosis. Time stops for you now. Hours pass, days pass, you don't know how long. You don't feel anything, you just wait. Then water returns, rain falls, and a drop lands on the moss exactly where you stopped. The moisture touches your dried husk, and your body begins absorbing it like a sponge. Your legs unfold, your cells rehydrate. Within minutes, you're moving again. You didn't choose to die. And you didn't choose to come back. It just happened, and it will happen again. You're 2 weeks old now. You've died and revived 3 times already. Each time, the moss dries out and you shut down. Each time, you wake up somewhere slightly different, carried by the water when it returns. You have no control over where you go. The current decides for you. You've learned to feed quickly when water is present. You pierce algae cells, suck them dry, and move to the next one before the film collapses. Eventually, something else arrives. A nematode, 50 times your size, slithers through the water film like a serpent. It doesn't hunt you, specifically, but if it touches you, you're gone. Nematode passes within a body length, its massive form creating waves that push you sideways. You wait until the vibrations stop, then resume crawling. This is how it works down here. You're not prey, but you're not safe either. You just exist in the space between. Skip forward a bit, and you're 3 months old. You've died 14 times so far. Dried out, frozen solid, revived. The cycle doesn't stop. You're feeding on a rotifer when the moss starts to freeze. The temperature drops fast, and ice crystals form in the water around you. You try to move, but the cold locks your body in place. The water inside your cells begins to crystallize. In any other animal, this would shred the cell walls and cause instant death. But your cells produce a sugar that stops the ice from forming sharp edges. You freeze solid, encased in ice, technically, dead again. This time, you stay frozen for 6 months. When spring comes, the ice melts and you thaw. Your cells reabsorb water and your legs start moving again like nothing happened. Half a year passed and you experienced none of it. One day, while you're grazing on algae, something sharp pierces the moss. A metal probe, thin as a hair, slides through the water film. It's not hunting you. It's not even aware you exist, but it's there, and it's moving. Scientists are collecting samples, scraping bits of moss into a container. You're pulled along with the debris, sliding down into a plastic tube. The tube seals. The light changes. Then you're weightless. You don't know it, but you've been launched into space. The container opens in the vacuum. Air explodes outward, and the water around you evaporates instantly. You enter cryptobiosis faster than ever before. Your body shrinks into a particle, drifting in zero gravity. Then the radiation hits. It's a wavelength that would kill a human in seconds, breaking apart DNA and destroying cells. Your body absorbs it. Your DNA fractures in thousands of places, but something in your cells begins repairing it immediately, stitching the broken strands back together as fast as they tear apart. You stay in space for 10 days. No air, no water, no protection. Then you're brought back down. The container is opened in a lab, and a drop of water is added. You rehydrate. Your legs unfold. You start crawling. The scientists watching through the microscope lean closer, amazed. You survived space. You don't feel proud. You don't feel anything. You're just moving again because that's what you do. You're 1 year old now. You've died 47 times. You've been frozen, dried, crushed, and irradiated. You're feeding on a cluster of bacterial cells when something grabs you. A nematode, hunting through the water film, clamps its mouth around your midsection. Its jaws close, but your body doesn't rupture. Your cuticle is too tough. The nematode shakes you, trying to tear you apart, but you don't break. It pulls harder, and your body stretches like rubber. Then it stops. It releases you and moves on, searching for softer prey. You tumble through the water, legs flailing, trying to reorient. You land upside down on a moss leaf. You reach with your claws, gripping the surface, and flip yourself over. The attack didn't injure you, but it didn't need to. You're alive, but you gain nothing. You don't win. You just don't die. You're 2 years old. You've never encountered another tardigrade of your species. You've seen others, but they were different types, and they moved past without acknowledgement. Then one day, while you're feeding, another tardigrade approaches. It's slightly smaller than you, and it moves differently. Its body carries eggs inside, visible through the translucent skin. This is a female. You're male, though you've never thought about it until now. She stops beside you. You don't communicate. There's no signal, no display. Your body just knows. You position yourself near her, and you release sperm into the water. It drifts toward her, carried by the current. She absorbs it, and within hours, her eggs are fertilized. Then she moves away. You don't follow. There's no bond, no connection. You're 5 years old now. You've died over 200 times. You've survived everything the moss can throw at you. One day, while you're feeding, a fungal spore lands on the moss beside you. It begins to grow, spreading thin threads through the water film. The threads move slowly at first, then faster. They reach the algae you're feeding on and start consuming it. You move to the next patch, but the fungus follows. Within days, it's covered half the moss. The algae is dying, and the bacteria are disappearing. You're starving now. You've gone weeks without food before, but this time, there's nothing left to find. You enter cryptobiosis again, not because the moss dried out, but because your body has no other option. You shut down, waiting for conditions to improve, but they don't. The fungus spreads, and the moss begins to rot. You stay dormant, locked in a ball, as the entire habitat collapses around you. Then, one day, a gust of wind pulls the dried moss free from the tree. It tumbles through the air, carrying you with it. You land in a stream, submerged in fast-moving water. The current is too strong. You're swept downstream, crashing against rocks, pulled under, and dragged through rapids. Eventually, you're deposited in a shallow pool downstream. The water here is still. You rehydrate, your legs unfold, you start moving again. But this habitat is new, and there's no food nearby. You crawl toward the edge of the pool, searching for algae, bacteria, anything. You're 10 years old. You've spent most of your life dead, locked in cryptobiosis, waiting for the world to become survivable again. You're feeding on a thin film of bacteria when something shifts in the water. A chemical, a toxin released by decaying plants spreads through the pool. Your body absorbs it. This time, your cells don't respond. The repair mechanisms fail. Your DNA fractures, and instead of stitching back together, it stays broken. You enter cryptobiosis one last time, but this time, you don't come back. Your body remains on the moss, a dried husk no different from the hundreds of other tardigrade corpses scattered across the habitat. You don't decompose. You just stay there, a particle of organic material, until the wind eventually carries you away. No one notices, no one remembers. But somewhere nearby, one of your offspring hatches from an egg. It crawls out into the water film, alone, already searching for food. It will die, revive, and repeat the cycle just like you did. Because that's what tardigrades do. They survive everything, and they experience nothing. They're the toughest creatures on Earth, trapped in the smallest, most fragile world imaginable.